We've just about reached the end of 4 days of testing here at Jerez in Spain, and local hero Fernando Alonso is just finishing off some laps in his Ferrari. But really the story of this week has been Mercedes, the fall and then rise of Mercedes, if you like, because they had problems on day one with Lewis Hamilton when he crashed due to a front wing failure. But ever since then, they've recovered and they have looked mightily impressive. The Mercedes team getting more laps under their belt than virtually any other team. And with the new rules and the new power unit, it is getting that mileage that is absolutely crucial. And both Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton have been going around like clockwork.
Well, we expected it to be very, very tough a couple of days here in Jerez, and it did start quite tough for us. But the team did a really good job to turn it around, and now really got the kilometers going, you know, and lots of laps. And I'm very pleased with that, because that was the most important thing for this test here. Just do a lot of laps to really, because it's laps that will show you where are the problems of the car, what are the weaknesses, what do we need to focus on. And by doing all these laps, we really learned a lot of things now, and that's a good thing.
The Mercedes engine teams have also done a good job. Teams like Williams, for example. Felipe Massa going very quickly on the final day of testing here. And McLaren with Jenson Button and Kevin Magnussen, who was fastest on the Thursday. Renault are the other big story, though, because world champions Red Bull, with their Renault engines, have done a miserly 21 laps over the course of the 4 days. They have had big problems. Some of them have been Renault issues, some of them have been Red Bull cooling problems, but whatever it is, it means they haven't been out there, they haven't been able to do the laps that they need to understand these new power units, and that's got to be a huge concern for Sebastian Vettel and his new teammate Daniel Ricciardo.
We do have the best team in the world, and they're going to turn this thing around. And you know, it's not like the season started yet. I mean, we're not losing points by not driving now or anything like that. So we've still got a long time to get back. You know, any track time we've lost here. And for me, it's all right. I mean, the few laps I did in the car, it still feels like a race car. It's not something that is out of the ordinary. So I'm sure once we get going up to speed, I won't feel out of place.
Ferrari, as we say, Fernando Alonso, well, he's been slowly getting on with his business, just quietly, Ferrari, but they have done a good programme. I think they're very satisfied with the work they've done. Sauber also running the Ferrari engine, and it was good to see the Marussia make it out here as well. So a lot of work has been done, but there is plenty more to do in the intervening 2.5 weeks between this test and the next one in Bahrain. If you take a look at the championship this year and think about trying to scale Everest, this test has been about getting to base camp. Well, Mercedes and their team seem to have got to base camp very comfortably, and I think Ferrari have got to base camp. The Renault-powered teams are still struggling up that first hill to the base camp, and they really have plenty of work to do when they get to the second test in Bahrain.